With the release of Ark Aberration, the first question you'll be asking yourself is, where do I build? Well, here are a few spots that are going to give you a huge head start. They are chosen with the following criteria in mind. Number 1, resources. Is the position close to resources? Number 2, defendable, which means will it be easy to defend yourself if you're getting attacked by an enemy tribe? Number 3 is space for activities, which basically means storage. And number 4 is hidden, which some of these spots are, but it's not the most important criteria. The first spot here is in the Fertile Lake. If you guys have played Aberration, you know the Fertile Lake is an amazing spot for pearls and for metal, as it's got a surface entrance right near it. And if someone hasn't blocked this is where you want to go for your metal. So this first position is close to all the resources you need and is in a crazy defendable position, up high in the tree, in the center of the Fertile Lake. And you can see here there's a drop that spawns on a pretty damn flat surface, and this surface is pretty damn large as well, so plenty of space for building. You can put in cliff platforms inside the tree as well, which gives you plenty of room for activities. Coordinates are 1936 for this position. And obviously the first thing you're going to be saying is, wow, this is going to be impossible to build in, but in Ark Aberration, the developers actually added a new type of elevator system, which is the wooden elevators, and they're basically a hand-powered elevator. So you'd have to obviously use those to make this base functional, and you'd probably move into the top area as you progressed and got your rock drakes. But I've got to say, for endgame, it's going to be one of the hardest spots to raid in the game, just because it's going to be so hard to get to, so hard to drain turrets. So you'd probably put an elevator from this bottom area up to the top. Obviously it's going to require a lot of resources to do so. You'd obviously start your first base somewhere down below, just closer to the resources, but eventually you're going to want to build up to this position because it's going to make your base very, very hard to raid. And who hasn't wanted to be an Ewok? This second base location is found at the Northeast Surface Entrance 1, and I know from experience that this is an excellent base location. You can see here, the entrance has an excellent choke point with limited land access, and the cave is pretty damn large, and again you can place the rock cliff platforms in the cliffs in this cave to add extra storage. I've actually got a base live on a server in this position, and it's an excellent base location found at 2762. The best thing about these surface locations is, if you build in the right spot, you can actually keep the metal nodes in your backyard. So you're living right next to metal nodes that you can just harvest straight away. So this spot is excellent for resources. It's got excellent storage space, and it's relatively hidden until people get to the end game and want to get to the surface. And it's a large space, and it's only got 2 entrances, and one of the entrances comes from the surface, so it's going to be very hard for someone to raid you from the back end, because obviously you get burnt in the day up top. And there's also keratin for cementing paste found in this cave too on the bones. So this is an awesome base location. I highly recommend it. All the surface entrances are pretty much a guaranteed awesome spot to build for defense and for resources. Which brings us to our third location, the Northeast Surface Entrance 2. Now this cave is even bigger than the previous one, and it's got even more metal there. It doesn't have the easy to defend entrance, but if you're a bigger tribe, this is going to be the spot where you want to go if the other spot's taken, or if you just want an even larger area to defend. So again, it's got a surface entrance at the back end, so just be aware you are vulnerable to that from the other surface, but it's going to be very hard for someone to attack you from there. These surface spots are amazing because there's just so much room, and it's just such an easy position to defend because you only need to focus your defense on one position. It's probably the largest amount of space that is easily defended on this map, hands down. And if you use the rock cliff platforms, you can build up very vertically in these caves. So you can have huge mammoth bases with multiple little bases inside them quite easily, and you can even store your dinosaurs up on the rock cliff platforms to make sure that the pathways are clear. So I really like these positions, and they just look like an excavation site, so if you want those RP values, it's got that too, you know. And obviously it goes without saying that basically 3 walls of your base are already built for you when you build in a cave. All you have to do is Basically cover one more and you've got your whole base set up. So it's going to be much quicker to build your base too. Just so many pros to these bases, and obviously out of all the bases I've chosen in this list, they're the most easily accessible. So for farming, everything is going to be much easier, but they will be easier to siege. That's the only problem with these spots. This next spot might look familiar to some of you guys who have watched my videos. We raided this base position at 4659, but it was a very hard raid because this is up very high in the blue biome, up in the big ruined tree. And this position is awesome because it's only got 2 entry points on the big wooden branches. And these big wooden branches are amazing because structures can't be placed on them. So on Aberration, there's turrets that can be powered by batteries, but you can't place them on there. So if someone's getting raided, their fob can't be too close to your base, and they can't siege your base with the placeable turrets and batteries that can be placed in your building zone. And down below from this is a ton of metal nodes. So this is an awesome spot for defense and for farming. Obviously, again, like the first position we mentioned, it's going to be sort of a pain in the ass to access, but the base we saw here had an elevator access from the bottom up to the top, and it made this base seem much more manageable. You can also notice at the end of the wooden branches, there's a little lip, which means that you can cut off people's land access to your base. So if they're trying to raid you with parasaurs, you can just cut down your ramps and they won't be able to get into your base with the paras. They'll have to stop there. Obviously at the moment you can sort of tank with reapers and rock drakes because of the healing plants in Aberration, but this place is amazing and it's perfectly flat as well. So you can just build with foundations. So this is a pretty awesome spot to build in my opinion. In Aberration, you want to take advantage of the verticality of the map. That's what it's designed for. You're not meant to live on the ground. The whole aim of this map is to build up. So, I highly recommend it. This is one of my top positions to build. This last position, again these aren't in order, is called Roof Cliff because it's on the roof of the blue zone pretty much. And this point at 4664 has pretty much no land access. So like I'm saying for all these, disclaimer, it's going to be hard to get up here. Obviously to get started, it's probably more of an endgame position, but that works in your favor when you're defending your base. And as I mentioned, the elevators are in this for a reason. You're meant to build up high. It's going to make your base much harder to raid. It's going to make it much easier for defense. And just look at that view, you know, it's just scenic. So this position's, again, super flat and quite large. And again, you can take advantage of the rock cliff platforms if you would like. And there's no wooden branches that reach this one, except on one side, but it's very far down. So this position would be super hard to raid. So there you have it, that's my current top 5 base locations on Aberration. Obviously, I wanted to make this video after I'd played the map for a period of time, so I actually came across some good locations. I didn't want to rush it out before I knew the map. Hope you guys like these locations. If you know of more, obviously there's others that I've missed. I've only put 5 in here, and there's probably better ones than this, so obviously I'm not a god, I don't know everything. If you guys do know better locations, let me know in the comments. But I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. In the coming videos, there's going to be a lot more tips and tricks videos for Aberration, and a lot more PvP coming your way. So I hope you guys found this very helpful, and until next time, you guys are legends. Thanks for watching, and good luck building your base. If you're building one of these locations, send me a screenshot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.